Good morning. Can I request all of you to occupy the seat, please? The firstly, we would like to light the lamp. For that, I invite Mr. Ashok Mitsandani, Managing Director, Asia Pacific, Carrier Transicold. Please. I invite Mr. Rahul Agarwal, Managing Director, Kool-Ex. Mr. Manish Agarwal, Executive Director, Gati Kousar. Mr. Pankaj Mehta, MD, Carrier Transicold India. Mr. Mohit, I request Mohit to give the bouquet to all the. On behalf of Infinity Expo, I welcome you all the delegates, panelists, speakers who have come from different places across the country to attend this global perishable and agri-logistic conclave. Uh, I would like to give a small brief before we start the session. Our country is a land of immense opportunities. The strength of our country is mainly the population. We have about 1.2 billion population with the huge demand for the food. We need to feed food for all. The quality food demand is on rise very gradually. We wanted to have better food, both in terms of safety of the food, quality of the food is on rise. Earlier it was on people who are in metros, who are in the big cities, they try to take a better food. Now through the country, if you go across the country, travel, you find the people are having a good food, organic food, least residual food they are taking. So there is an awareness which has come to every part of the country, to most of the people. We have a lot of demand, the growing demand, which is happening on the other side. There's a lot of challenges. A lot of challenges. We have the consumer expectation on a better quality food, affordable quality, and it should be available. It should be available on the shelf throughout. So that's the biggest challenge that the industry is facing. Now today, this conference, the reason why the conference is organizing this particular um, topic is mainly on how we all come together, discuss, deliberate, and create a new platform and the way in which how we need to take our future business together. It's not possible in a country like us to do everything in an isolated way, nor you can't replicate the way in which how the Western systems are happening in a very systematic way. The whole industry is completely unorganized today. The retail business, the wholesale markets, how it has been functioning, and there's completely the authorities. Nobody has got a complete control on how things are happening. These are all so we have a lot of challenges, but still the infrastructure is in place. Today we have a golden quadrilateral roads, you have got a train infrastructure, you have a port infrastructure, you have got a connectivity, everything is there today. But how this particular industry, the food industry, the perishable supply chain industry, is trying to, which is a huge, multi-billion economy, how it is going to meet the expectation of the consumer is one of the biggest challenge. So this particular, the challenges in this conference, the challenges which are happening here is going to be deliberated in this conference, and we have to evolve our own solution as a collaborative model by trying to understand on each other how to take it forward. So we have to create a unique delivery model to meet the customers' expectations, a competitive price, and in a much safer way, in an affordable price. So on the shelves, this is extremely the important point. Now we have interesting sessions in the morning. The conference is designed in such a way that it will, for an emerging economy like us, especially the food industry, how we could probably formulate a new way of doing things. Like how do we develop a multimodal logistics? A lot of India has got a lot of logistic companies, cold chain companies are there. Hundreds and hundreds of logistic companies are there already doing dry cargo transportation from one place to other. But how this multimodal logistic, which is an evolving concept, is going to help to support the needs of the consumer, to address the needs, the demand of the wholesale and retail market. So this is one of an interesting topic which we would like to discuss in the morning. Then followed by it is a discussion on how the metric ton concept is going to transform to a palletized concept. Because when we are talking about the perishable cargo movement, then obviously we should understand the fact that there are certain old things like cold storage, the metric ton. We need to come out of those old things, the bulk storage concept. Of course, it has been quite accepted in some commodities, but not for every commodities. Today, the processed foods are trying to replace, and you have a lot of fresh foods are coming across the borders. A lot of goods are imported and also exported. So when we are on the transition stage, how these kind of the basic ideas, like defining the cold chain infrastructure only in pallet, which has already happened in a developing economy, and Southeast Asia it has happened, and Western countries it has happened a lot. So there is a topic which we are really kept it, how we are going to transform from a concept of cold storage to cold chain by defining the whole basic itself is from the metric tons to the pallet. So that's what we kept one topic for that one. And finally, in the morning, we have an interesting session on how these are going to support the perishable trade business. Finally, at the end of the day, everything will come to the wholesale market, or it should go for then to the retail market. How the infrastructure, how the systems is going to support the, this market. Finally, everything has to be dealt in the market. Now, in the afternoon session, we have technology session on using the greener environment, like using carbon dioxide as a refrigerant, ammonia or freon. There's going to be deliberations on the technology side, and safety side also. We have how do we you have come across a lot of accident in recently, accidents in the cold storages, whatever the reason may be. But we need to ensure that we have to deploy the safety standards when we are designing and when we are before it is getting into operation. It is not for a bigger investor or retail companies, third party logistics companies, but it is for everybody who are investing in this business, and awareness of the safety systems, not only on the fire safety standards but the refrigeration leakage system, detection and all those things. Human safety standards needs to be deployed in practice. So it's more on a technology, it's more on safety sessions. We have kept on more on energy efficient systems. So the whole day session is more on a panel discussion, and few presentations are there. I really request the audience, the delegates, to make it a more an interactive session. It is going to be between an interactive session to make it more alive and more dynamic and more vibrant. And I once again I welcome you all for having come here from different places. Spend your precious time here, and I really make it a useful day today. Thank you very much. Bye bye. The first session of today is how we are going to develop a multimodal perishable logistics in the country. For that, I invite Mr. Pankaj Mehta, Managing Director. Carrier Transicold India Session Chairman, please. I invite Mr. Rahul Agarwal, Managing Director, Kool-Ex Cold Chain. I invite Manish Agarwal, Executive Director, Gati, Kausar.
कैमरा
I invite Mr. Ranjan
चलो
Sinha, CEO
फोटोग्राफर को बुला
NAPL.
इधर
Mr. Ranjan.
फोटोग्राफर को इधर बुला
The session is going to be, though we have started a bit late, 10:30 we started. Just wanted to cope up with the time that we have lost. Um, so I request Mr. Pankaj to stick to the time, the relevant questions, and at the end of each session, if the audience want to ask any questions, then it will be addressed. Mr. Pankaj.
Thank you, Siva. So let's start today's sessions on agri-perishables. We have a very eminent panel here. Mr. Rahul Agarwal from Kool-Ex. He's making a lot of change in the way logistics happens, mainly focused on pharma, but also using technology as a differentiator. We got Mr. Manish Agarwal from Gati. Gati Kausar, again, very established, one of the oldest names in logistics in India. I mean, we don't need introduction for that. And Mr. Ranjan from NAPL. They are consultants for various projects in cold chain and infrastructure. So it will be interesting to get his perspective on where this industry will be heading. So with that, I would like to kick off the session by showing you details of a pilot study that Carrier did. I'm sure it will open up a lot of discussion points, it will throw up a lot of points of the challenges that the cold chain industry faces. Okay. So this was a study done by Carrier to focus on what are the challenges faced, especially on fruits and vegetable logistics. We've talked about it in various forums. We've talked about how imported fruit is making the way to our markets, and Indian fruit is not able to reach all over the country. We have so much of produce in India itself. Mangoes, this is a season of mangoes, but you see that the mangoes that are found in Mumbai don't reach the northern states and vice versa. So what Carrier did was look at one aspect, take a small pilot study and focus on it. So food waste globally, we are all familiar, a lot of food is wasted. If that were to be converted to, cropland, it takes 3 times the size of India as a country, only on the food that is wasted. Uh, and obviously it needs to a lot of undernourishment. It generates a lot of greenhouse gases. So we are aware of the mega picture. What about India? Let's come closer to India. India, as you all know, is the second largest producer of fruits and vegetables. A very minuscule, less than 1% moves through any sort of cold chain. As per a study done by the National Center of Cold Chain Development, India requires 50,000 reefer trucks and 70,000 pack houses just to focus on the agri